off all these siege tanks now. Those drones really desperately trying to run for their lives. There's Wednesday Night vVv gaming. Often in Game 6. Meanwhile, Malice wanting to do his team proud. Do his team proud. Originally was part of vVv Gaming. We'll see how he does against Hasuu. Zerg versus Protoss here on Metalopolis, and I believe a lot of players have recently said that Zerg is very much favored in Zerg versus Protoss right now.
Yeah, I'm sure, you know, a lot of people will, I'm sure there will be people that will protest to that, but I'm sure there are people who agree with it. But, you know, if we, you know, take this matchup, we are, as we start here, we do have Hasuu spawning over here in the 3 o'clock position as the green Protoss, and we do have Malice over here in the 9 o'clock position as the red Zerg. So these are cross positions, so I'm sure that Malice will have a little banana grin when he finds out that his opponent is not here at the close air position and that he is far away. And but I'm sure that Hasuu does have a plan. He is going to check the close air himself first, and then going to go over Malice checking, and he gets triple confirmation that there is indeed no cost spawn. So again, I'm sure he will have a big cheeky banana grin when he sees that there is no nexus down here.
Yeah, so you can now see a probe quickly coming across the corner. Hasuu did move back with the probe inside his own base to see if there was an overlord. He didn't spot the overlord, so both players finding out where the other player has spawned at essentially the same time. The probe now coming in along the inside, and Malice going to be opening up with an extractor pool. So an extractor pool very similar to, I believe, Titan's style. Even though this is cross-spawn, he doesn't want to get overzealous, and now deciding to pull back, getting a little bit more damage onto those drones, but just superficial damage as one of those drones is going to grow up to be a spawning pool.
Absolutely, and Malice is, that is something to note, that he is opening gas first, followed by a spawning pool, and then eventually is going to get him. We do have another kind of heart, I guess, it's an attempt at a heart. Patrol pattern to delay that expansion as much as possible. Hasuu, being as normal as can be, has his gas at a normal time. Looks like he is going to throw down his Cybernetics core here in a second. Doesn't look like he's going to go for that 17 gas, so he doesn't look like he wants to really tech up that far. But he does, in fact, know that the spawning pool will complete soon, and Zergling speed is on the way. And Malice is pulling off every single drone, so not just going to leave one in there. He is pulling off every drone, so he does plan on just getting speed and probably just going to get his expansion and drone up here and see if he can do anything.
Yeah, right now Malice going to compensate for not having another hatchery by getting that quick queen. You're going to see a drone finally make its way out and perhaps try to grow up and be a hatchery, but there is a probe there that now warping in a pylon and has something to say about that. So Hasuu delaying that hatchery even further, and as we've said before, or as a lot of casters have said, StarCraft 2 is a game of seconds, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to turn a 1-second advantage into a 5-second advantage into eventually a win. As this drone still wanders around on the inside, it should be able to mineral path out if it does decide to escape there, but I believe the Stalker will be able to chase it down and destroy it in just a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. The longer he can delay that expansion, you know, like you were saying, every second counts. And, you know, it's not just for the player's benefits, but, you know, if you have a build that you run over and over all the time and somebody throws this new twist to it, and you're so used to being able to do it at these timings and know that, okay, you know, at this amount of time or this amount of food, I have this, you know, it can throw you off your game as well. So, but Malice, you know, both these players, very experienced players. Malice, I'm sure that's not the first time he has seen a pylon in his natural block his hatchery, so I'm sure he's not going to be, you know, rewatching this replay, seeing exactly how that went down or what happened. So I'm sure he is prepared for it. And actually a lot of wings here being built by Malice, and these are going to be offensive wings because he knows, he has seen that there has been no hint at aggression from Hasuu. Hasuu just staying in his base. Oh, he does have 4 gateways going down, and I'm actually curious to see if he did in fact see. No, he doesn't. He actually only sees the 1 gateway at the ramp, so he has no idea about these 4 gateways. And actually all these wings were made, and I don't really know why. I thought they were going to be used offensive, but I do see he is taking a 3rd, so very odd. Maybe he wants to do a little expansion delaying of his own. But little does he know that Hasuu doesn't really plan on expanding anytime soon.
Yeah, Hasuu now getting up his 3 warp gates. A 4th warp gate will be coming in just a moment. Now trying to take down this one particular supply depot there. The Zerglings thinking twice before trying to do anything, doing any sort of aggression. In comes that Nexus, as Hasuu should be able to take this expansion with no issue. The Metalopolis, though, will be a little bit of a problem. Or sorry, not this hatchery over here at the 10 o'clock position of Metalopolis may be a bit of a problem, as Hasuu may not be expecting his opponent to actually be expanding. Normally, Zergs expand around the 8-minute mark if they were trying to go for a 3rd base. That, I believe, was placed down around the 6-minute mark, and that would be a very, very fast 3rd base indeed. As we can see now, is he going to have a license to drone and then instead just try to get up a very, very strong economy?
Yeah, Hasuu, again, proving me wrong by taking that expansion, right? As I said, he wasn't planning on it. So 4-gate expand, kind of an odd choice. And also, especially not that good for him. I mean, he doesn't know about it, but this 3rd base is done. And like you were saying, most players would be starting it right now, or maybe only have it about halfway done. But Hasuu is going in here with his probe, so he is going to see this, and actually going to throw down a pylon right in this queen's face, and be like, I'm going to warp this in. There's not much you can do about it. And he does see the creep, so he has to know that base is there. And Hasuu is looking to push out now. He's actually chrono boosting his warp gates, and he did throw down a pylon at his ramp, so he is walled in. So no Ling run by can't happen, and there are only a few roaches here for Malice. There's really nothing else. Only 4 roaches, only 2 more on the way. All these Lings that were at Hasu's 3rd have to be pulled back, and all these drones being pulled. Nice Guardian Shield, and there's really just not much here.
Yeah, the Stalkers are now just going to try to continue to kite these units as much as possible. Zealots are also coming to engage. Drones should not be really engaging in this fight. That is more of a last-ditch effort than an all-out aggression. As you can see, more Zerglings and Roaches coming back in. Overlords even getting shot down. So right now, Malice is supply blocked at 60 or 69 over 54. So it will be quite some time. As long as Hasuu is able to keep his units alive and keep them, just keep them coming, he should be able to get in a lot of damage. Hasuu taking a lot of damage on these Stalkers, though. It looks like a new fresh wave of Zealots will be warping in, and the Roaches may decide to turn around, as those Stalkers do have superior range and may be able to shut down some of those Roaches, as they are low on hit points once again. Army combinations, or what, 1150 versus 700, and now Malice once again supply blocked at 49 over 46.
Yeah, and these supply blocks are going to be what makes him, lose this game if he does. Beautiful pickoffs, and the expansion was canceled, so I guess I was kind of right in the sense that he didn't want to expand, because this is just an all-out 4-gate. And again, Malice just now being able to produce again, but this is all he has. A few drones, a couple Roaches, and 2 Queens. He really needs this production cycle to come out. Oh, but transferring drones over just to get picked off. And now Hasuu just targeting down, and if all the Queens go down, which he only has 1 left, so there goes his larva injects, but all these Roaches coming to reinforce, and this is just going to be a nail biter to see if Malice is able to hold off.
Yeah, Malice does have home field advantage, but that proxy pylon, those 2 proxy pylons, going to make it very, very difficult. We'll see what Hasuu tries to do here. Hasuu has to know that another hatchery is up on that high ground. And yes, finally warping in Zealots up on that high ground in order to put some pressure down. This hatchery will easily get taken down. And what was a base advantage is now going to completely fall apart. I don't know what Malice can really do. This hatchery will get destroyed. We are at tier 2, so short of a Nidus Worm dealing a lot of damage, because we do have an Overlord inside Malice's base. And now in come the Zerglings. Zerglings now trying to push in. Perhaps the Zerglings are now going to try to run in and do a little bit of a base trade here. No units. The gateways are on cooldown. This is going to be a bit of an issue here as the Stalkers and the Zealots and Sentries continue to push once more.
Yeah, this could be a mistake by Malice trying to break in the front. He just needs 1 warp in, Hasuu that is, just to defend that, and he is walling off with additional gateways, so he looks like he'll be fine. All the Roaches are just, and he's going to let the 2nd hatchery fall. And Malice is also supply blocked once again, so now Malice is running off of just 1 base, and he is now down workers. And, but the Lings are in the base now, so this is kind of a problem. He is targeting down the pylons, which is what you do. He unpowers the gateway and the cybernetics core, so only 3 gateways left. And but Hasuu is moving into the main base. Again, these Roaches are just sitting here. Okay, there they go. They're finally being used to come up, but again, this isn't going to be enough to take out this force, and now the Lings are headed back. So Malice, you know, did take out the pylon and cause a few warpins, but that's about it. And not attacking, you know, with these roaches for such a long time, and these zealots are going to work, and I really don't think, actually Malice cleaning this up, but he is so far behind in terms of worker, only has 2 drones left.
Yeah, this is definitely not the position that you want to be in as a Zerg player. Only having 2 drones, you are now you're now trying to get 2 more drones, finally up to 5. You need to get a queen, you need to spawn larva, but really you are just very, very limited on options at what you can really do at this point. Somehow, though, Malice was able to almost hit the reset button, and I do not believe that Hasuu wants to commit with anything to try to really destroy his opponent right now. Malice does have a slightly larger army, or he did have a slightly larger army, but that will quickly fall there as the Zerglings and the Roaches perhaps going to regroup and trying to figure out what their long-term goal is.
Yeah, Nexus is going down, so the expansion is going down, which he needs because he is almost mined out in his main. Only coming down to about less than 500 mineral patches, or 500 mineral on all those patches. But again, Malice is just you know, his base is just in shambles. He is quickly trying to remake drones because, you know, he is just now back to 12, and his only aggressive power is with, you know, these handful of roaches and lings. But again, Hasuu has more than enough to be able to hold off that push and secure his Nexus. So the game is definitely not over, but this is definitely going to be an uphill battle for Malice to try to reestablish his shattered economy.
Yeah, definitely. As you saw, a Zealot now running inside that main base, and then trying to take down a couple of the drones as well. I'm sure that Hasuu would gladly trade 1 Zealot for 2 drones at this point. A very, very good trade for him, but yeah, Hasuu losing a Zealot in transit there, so that was not a good trade by any means, as the Roaches now suspect that there is perhaps a proxy pylon up here on the high ground. He does have a Zergling here at the Xel'Naga Tower, so this pylon will quickly fall, and we'll see what exactly Hasuu does to try to follow this up.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to type to chat because the stream is lagging once again, and again, we're sorry guys, we're not getting any lag in the game. We don't know why there's such lag outside, or for you guys at least, but again, as Crota said, the VODs will be up for you guys to watch, and definitely check out the last part of the last game we just casted on Tall Dream, and definitely this game. But anyway, as this game going on, we do have a forge going down, we have +1 weapons happening, we do have a robotics bay going down too. Malice is reestablishing his natural for the second time, and he did have to rebuild his roach warren, so he is rebuilding that right now, and he is getting burrow, so planning to use that, I guess, planning to maybe just try to get some burrowed roaches to carry him back into this game. And we do have a 1 photon cannon up for Hasuu here, and Hasuu, I'm guessing, is just, you know, destined to wait until he has a full pumping 2-base economy and just make a big 2-base timing attack.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you can really do right now. The Zerg player, or Zerg, if any race can come back from going down to 2 mineral or 2 drones, and then trying to get back up, Zerg is definitely the race to try and do that. You can see a lot more drones now being transferred once again. We are seeing that 23 drones compared to 41 probes. Hasuu at some point needs to take up a 3rd base. He knows that his opponent really can't push out at this time, because if he pushes out, he'll end up just falling apart, as his economy is weaker, and he doesn't have as much of an army. So if this small army does engage, perhaps Hasuu can run around and get even more damage onto this mineral line here. But Malice doing his best, now getting back up to, I believe, 27 drones compared to 43, and it looks like Hasuu is finally deciding to make a move.
Yeah, Hasuu is making immortals out of his robotics facility, which is what he needs against these roaches. And we do have tunneling claws going. Burrow is finished, so the roaches can definitely burrow. They just can't move yet. But you know, with the tunneling claws, also it's the regeneration of roaches with tunneling claws, because the tunneling claws allows them to move, but also gives that regeneration bonus. And it is just absurd. You know, the whole map is like a medevac. You know, for these roaches, because they heal up so quick. So Malice, doing the smart thing, is going to burrow these roaches, so Hasuu has no idea where they are, might think that the army is near his base, But here he comes. He is going to destroy that Mink statue because who likes Minks anyway? And he is moving up here and popping Guardian Shield, and Malice is unburrowing, so now he's going to try to take out these, actually focusing the Immortal, and burrows again, and a lot of force field spamming here, and Malice again, that Tumbling Claws is just about 15 in-game seconds away from finishing, so he can't burrow underneath those force fields. Right now they're only used as a block, and the expansion is taken down again, and this has to be GG here soon, as Malice really just has nothing to answer. He does have burrows, so all these drones, even those dedicated drones holding onto their minerals that they mine, are still burrowed, but there's really nothing he can do.
Yeah, there's not much he can really do. All the drones and the roaches can burrow. Now he's going to try to engage here. If he can just try to play whack-a-mole long enough, perhaps he can get back into this. But that would be the longest game of whack-a-mole. As the roaches, you can see, now trying to change positions once more, going after units, and then poking after those sentries, getting the lower hit point units, and then burrowing once again. An observer needs to be queued up. Where is an observer? Not quite sure. As you can see, all of the roaches are almost back into that green section. Once more, drones now trying to come back in. The drones are not going to be able to do very much. And finally, with an observer in play, I believe Malice will give up the game with the GG.
Yeah, the observer comes in just in time, and there's the GG, and Hasuu coming out and doing a reverse all kill, and taking nothing away from Hasuu, but I'm sure a lot of people were not expecting Hasuu to come back and do a reverse all kill. A lot of people, you know, in the chat were saying that, you know, I don't know, you know, this looks like it might be an all kill for Pink Panda, the first player, as Murder and Titan are both arguably some of the stronger players on vVv. But Hasuu definitely coming in and saying, now wait a minute, I have something to say about this, doing a reverse all kill. And in all of his games, Hasuu is just astounding at, you know, figuring out exactly when he needs to attack, you know, even when he's behind, to come back in. Again, that game on Taldering Altar where the stream went down, sorry you guys couldn't see that battle, but it was, you know, just a perfect time to attack. This game, a perfect time to come in, you know, with the canceled expansion with 4 gate. And so Hasuu definitely showing that he's a force to be reckoned with here on vVv.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was perhaps the best play I have ever seen from Hasuu in all the nights of Wednesday Night Starcraft that I've seen. Before Hasuu, like I'm sorry to say this, but Hasuu was almost like a speed bump in some of the other games and some of the other Wednesday nights, and I felt bad for him. And when I saw Hasuu on the lineup, I didn't have high hopes. I did beat him in MLG Anaheim, and hopefully he isn't listening to this. So he's a great guy, and I think he really made me just eat my opinion of him as he did this reverse all kill, going through everyone in Team NrG.
Yeah, absolutely. Hasuu,